Internet folk. Hello to fans of the basic programming language, and hello to the Tiddlerhood. Just want to show a little something, a follow-up to my last video. As soon as I finished my last video showing how the LPRINT function works in BASIC, I started thinking this would make for an easy, a viable alternative for exporting content from TiddlyWiki. TiddlyWiki already has very good export mechanisms, but it can be a little bit challenging to create your own export, a custom export. And so I started thinking, well, geez, how would BASIC work at doing this kind of thing? And well, here we go. Here's a BASIC program that does it. Um, I'll talk about the parts here before we run this thing and see what it does. Um, Here we've got some TiddlyWiki syntax, or programming if you want, scripting. The list filter goes and says, okay, look, of all the tiddlers in this TiddlyWiki, and get the full list of them, and sort them alphabetically, and then get the first 20. I don't need to get thousands of tiddlers here for testing purposes, just get the first 20 of them, the first 20 titles. And in those 20 titles, if you happen to find an occurrence, or any number of occurrences, that's what the G is for, search and replace for double quotes, and replace them with this thing right here. Double quote plus the basic command, character 34, which means double quotes, followed by another double quote. And the reason for this is because the basic programming language, its syntax, it expects to find strings wrapped in double quotes. Well, if the string happens to have a double quote inside of it, it totally throws off the basic program. And normally, when we've got a list widget in TiddlyWiki, we only need one double quote at the start, one double quote at the end to identify the filter that's going to be used. In this case, we've got three of them that bookend the filter, because within the filter we happen to be referring to double quotes. So this is a way to say, hey, look, whatever's inside of here happens to have a double quote. We use the triple quotes to say that these are the bookends for the string that is the filter. Anyway, inside of this, we've got this basic command, which is aggregated output, this variable equals to whatever aggregated output was before, plus the current tiddler title, and followed by a carriage return. Now, for each title that's retrieved via the TiddlyWiki list widget, for each title retrieved, it will create a basic command that looks like this, replacing this current tiddler meta command, if you want. This command is not basic. This is TiddlyWiki. Replace this current tiddler with whatever the current title is, as we're looping through this list of titles. And then at the end, we're back to native basic code here. LPRINT the contents of this variable. Now, just to show you what this looks like, when we run the program, this gets fed to the preprocessor, which converts all of the TiddlyWiki code, or rather renders whatever the TiddlyWiki code is doing here. And the result will look like this. So all of this list filter will generate a whole bunch of aggregated output statements, which aggregate each one of the titles found via this list widget. And then when we run this program, it asks us to save a file. We'll just rename the previous one, save this, and when we take a peek at it, let's open this with Chrome, and open up in the wrong window. It opened up not with coding with Chrome, opened up with View. And let me grab the tab to open up my other window. And here's the content of this file that got created, this text file. It's the list of tiddler titles, the first 20 of them, that come out of the full list of all tiddlers from Basic Anywhere Machine, and the first 20 of them. And okay, that's great, but what if we wanted this program to help us get some content out of some other TiddlyWiki instance that we use all the time? Well, the first thing we want to do is we want to take this basic program, we want to export it, and we want to export it as a JSON file. And I already did this before. I'll just replace the file I had before. We save it to that. Save this JSON file. Once we've got it, we want to find it in our folder. And then we go to our TiddlyWiki instance, which I happen to have tiddlywiki.com open right here. And this JSON file, we drag it into, well, before I drag it, I got to select it. We drag it into our TiddlyWiki instance, and we import all these tiddlers. And then we go find this program that includes all. This is our program right here. And our package that we imported into TiddlyWiki includes a whole bunch of other supporting tiddlers that help us be able to run a program inside of any TiddlyWiki instance. So it allows us to take a little bit of what is Basic Anywhere Machine and bring it over into any TiddlyWiki. So if we run this guy, and okay, let's do the same thing. Let's just replace the file we had before, or this file that we had before, and okay that. And okay, yeah, we're done this program. Let's go find the folder, and let's go see what's inside of here. And now we find the list of the first 20 tiddlers in alphabetical order from this TiddlyWiki instance that is tiddlywiki.com. Anyway, that's just to show how we can, if we're not comfortable building an export in TiddlyWiki proper with native TiddlyWiki syntax, that we can do custom exports this way if we feel like it. So it's kind of a fun use case for Basic Anywhere Machine, well, in my sponge anyway. Anyhow, hope you found this interesting. Cheers.